Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is August 31st, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1944, Montreal's own Joe LeDuc. 1977, watch out for Team Extreme, it's Jeff Hardy. 1979, Mickey James. And last but not least, 1988, Ember Moon. And we're going to keep that positivity train a-rolling. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for August 31st. Jumping in the Wayback Machine and going all the way to 1950, where we see Don Eagle defeat Gorgeous George in Columbus, Ohio, to win the Ohio AWA World Heavyweight title to begin his second reign. Moving ahead 1 year to 1951, Art Nielsen and Jack Steele defeat Farmer Jones and Al Massey to win the Georgia NWA Southern Tag Team titles in Atlanta, Georgia. 3 years later in 1954, Al and Tiny Mills defeat George and Sandy Scott for the Calgary NWA Canadian Tag Team titles in Edmonton, Alberta, ending the Scots' second reign. Moving ahead to 1965, Don Carson defeats Ken Lucas for the NWA Gulf Coast Heavyweight title in Pensacola, Florida, ending Lucas's second reign. Jumping 2 years to 1967, Len Rossi defeats the Great Yama to win the NWA Southern Junior Heavyweight title in Chattanooga, Tennessee, to begin his fifth reign. 2 stops in 1968, Vern Gagne defeats Dr. X, aka Dick Beyer, to win the AWA World Heavyweight title in Bloomington, Minnesota, to begin Gagne's ninth reign. Our second stop in 68, Jose Lothario and Joe Scarpa, aka Chief J Strongbow, defeat Boris Malenko and Johnny Valentine to win the Florida NWA Southern Tag Team titles in Tampa, Florida. This began Lothario and Scarpa's second reign. Grabbing my best polyester suit and going to the 70s, 1972. Art Nielsen and Johnny Weaver defeat Brute Bernard and Larry Hamilton for the NWA Atlantic Coast Tag Team titles in Greensboro, North Carolina. Sticking in 1972, Gorgeous George Jr. wins a Battle Royal in Hattiesburg, Mississippi to win the vacant NWA Mississippi Heavyweight title. Moving to 1973, Mr. Wrestling 2 defeats Bill Watts for the vacant NWA Georgia Heavyweight title in Atlanta, Georgia. Fred Blassie was the special referee for the match. The title had been stripped from Watts 2 weeks earlier after he purposely got disqualified in a match against Mr. Wrestling 2. Fast forwarding to 1978, Doug Gilbert defeats Bob Sweatin for the NWA Central States Heavyweight title in Kansas City, Kansas. Our final stop in the 70s, 1979. Ole Anderson and Ivan Koloff win their fifth NWA Georgia Tag Team titles in Atlanta, Georgia, by ending the second reign of Stan Hansen and Tommy Rich. Grabbing my boombox and going to the 80s, 1983. Jumbo Teruzza defeats Bruiser Brody for the NWA International Heavyweight title in Tokyo, Japan, ending Brody's second reign. Fast forwarding 3 years to 1986, Eddie Gilbert and Sting defeat the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, for the UWF World Tag Team titles in Oklahoma, to begin their second reign. The title had been held up after a match between the two teams on August 17. Our final stop in the 80s, 1987, Jerry Lawler defeats Don Bass in a hair versus title steel cage match for the AWA Southern Heavyweight title in Memphis, Tennessee, ending Bass's second reign and beginning Lawler's 50th of 5,675. At the same show, Bill Dundee defeats George Burns to win the CWA International Heavyweight title. And last but not least, 1992, the WWF's 5th annual SummerSlam airs on pay-per-view. The event had taken place 2 nights earlier in London, England, at Wembley Stadium before 80,000 fans, and got a 1.5 buy rate. The show marked the first and only time an Intercontinental Championship match main evented a WWF pay-per-view. That main event saw the British Bulldog defeat WWF Intercontinental Champion Bret Hart by countering a sunset flip attempt with a roll-up to win the title. This ended Hart's second reign. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for August 31st. I'm the Eclectic Gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.